Hi, it's Mrs. Arroyo. Today is day 3, using objects to measure. Go ahead and solve the problem in your head. Pause the video if you need to. 18 minus 7. You should have 11. 17 minus 11. You should have 6. Our daily learning target is, I can use an object to measure the length of something. Our standard is, order 3 objects by length. Compare the lengths of 2 objects indirectly by using a third object. We are going to be looking at non-standard units today. A non-standard unit is any item that can be used to measure something, like paper clips, blocks, finger spaces, hand spans, or feet. Some examples include blocks and paper clips. We see that the pencil is 15 blocks long, or 6 paper clips long. Notice that the number of units you use is different compared when you use small units to large units, but we'll get to that another time. The bar is 6 hand spans long, or 4 sneakers long. Again, you get a different number of units when you use a different type of unit. Layla is using tiles to measure the length of her sneaker. Which measurement is correct and why? A says my sneaker is 4 tiles long. B says my sneaker is 7 tiles long. C says my sneaker is 6 tiles long. And D says my sneaker is 3 tiles long. Take a moment, pause if you need to, and record what you think your answer is on a scrap sheet of paper. So looking at A, we see that it starts at the ends. All of these start at the end, but A has them back to back, no spaces, no overlaps. B, we have overlaps. C, we also have overlaps, but in a different way. And D, there are some spaces left. If you said A, 4 tiles, then you are correct. We want to go with the one that has no gaps and no overlaps. So to show you the correct way, we start at the ends. At each ends, we go from end to end, and we leave no gaps in between the tiles, and we don't overlap the tiles. When we have gaps, we have space in between the tiles that we didn't measure, and we have to measure all of the space. When we overlap, we end up using too many tiles because it's laid on top of each other instead of back to back. When we put them back to back, we use just enough. Makita used cubes to measure the length of a pencil. She said it was 5 cubes long. Is her measurement accurate? Accurate means correct or right. How do you know? How would you use the cubes to measure the pencil? So take a moment and think about what Makita did and what you would do. If you said Makita was incorrect, then you are correct. Makita did not do this right because she left gaps in between the blocks. Remember, no gaps, no overlaps. Mike and Tanisha are using paper clips to measure the length across this bench. How many paper clips would you need to measure the length of this bench? So Mike says, the length of this bench is 3 paper clips. Tanisha says the length of this bench is less than 3 paper clips. Who do you agree with and why? If you said Mike, then you are correct. Notice how Mike lined this up from end to end, the longest point. Tanisha did not start at the longest point. In fact, she did not even get to one of the ends. So right here is the space that she left unaccounted. She left out all that space, and then she overlapped over here. See how Mike went exactly at each end? And he didn't leave any space in between? So Mike did this correctly. Making correct measurements. There are some things that we need to make sure we do to make correct measurements. The object used repeatedly that means over and over again, must be the same size and shape. The first object used must start at the farthest point. The last object used must end at the other farthest point. The object used repeatedly must touch end to end with no spaces. The object used repeatedly must not overlap. Now you're going to check your understanding. This is in the packet and it is also online in Canvas. Mark the picture that shows a crayon that is 3 tiles long. If you have any questions, have your parents reach out to me or leave a comment on Class Dojo and let me know if you need any help or if you want to go above and beyond. Have a great day. Bye-bye.